I'm Amy. You might know me, you might not know me. I'm interrupting my usual lack of programming to bring you an important message, and that is I'm obsessed with HEMA. I'm not sure how or when it happened, but I'm suddenly all I can think about is swords. It's been going on for weeks. I'm not sure what's going on, and I need to talk about it. I just need to talk about it. And I've already my friends, my family, I've talked about it a lot. I have a local guild. I talk with them a lot, and I just need to debrief, I guess. So, hi. I started swords a month ago. Let's talk about what HEMA is in case you have no idea what I'm talking about. Historical European martial arts. Swords. It's people playing around with a bunch of different kinds of swords. At first I thought it was only longsword, but there's saber, and people are so mad that I can't think of other sword names right now. There's a lot, and I can't think of them. And it's been 4 weeks. 1 month ago, I got an email late in the day, and I opened it, and it said, "Oh, hey, you signed up to be notified if we had a space in our beginners HEMA women's class. Would you like to join? There's been a dropout." And I was like, yes, please. I've been on this wait list for a year. I didn't even know you kept my address. I thought I was just gone. And so I just barely got in to this class. I think it was 12 other women. We met every Wednesday for 3 weeks, and then Saturdays as well. So we had 2 classes per week, 6 total classes. And the first day I'm like, I'm not gonna be obsessed with this. This is cool, and I'll finish out the next 3 weeks. And these people seem really wonderful and amazing, and they're all very passionate about what they're doing. And I like swords, and I very much enjoy holding it in my hand, because I hadn't really seriously held a sword before, in a serious I'm gonna fight you kind of way, just kind of in a playing or posing way I had, but not fighting. Anyway, first class goes really well. We learn different guards and things, and a lot of footwork, which I struggled with because I have a dance background, and I just want to be on my tiptoes all the time. It's the idea of lifting your toe first and then stepping and then putting your toe down is, I think I will struggle with this for the rest of my life. I don't understand how to not be in releve all the time. I digress. It went really well. Saturday comes along. We have our class at 1 p.m. It's 1 hour. We're going through, I think, cuts. We did a diagram of cuts. Can you tell I'm a beginner? It's Myers diagram of cuts. It was kind of confusing, but we got there. Class ends. All the other women leave, except for, all the beginners women leave, except for the instructors. So the instructors are staying, and there's open sparring, and suddenly a ton of other people come in, and they start gearing up, and they've got jackets, and they have knee pads and elbow pads, and a gator thing, a gorget, and helmets, and then suddenly they're going at each other with swords. They're just fighting, and there's suddenly so many people just hitting each other with swords, and I just suddenly plopped myself on the ground, I'm just gonna watch this for the next 3 hours. And the movement, and they're really incredible people. I haven't even said the name. I went to Denver Historical Fencing Academy. They're amazing. Jason Behrens is my spirit animal. They're amazing instructors. The people are really wonderful. I'm having a great time. Anyway, so they start going at it. I'm sitting down. One of the instructors comes up, Megan, she's amazing, and says, "Well, hey, I asked the head instructor, and if you do want to spar, we could get you set up in gear and you could spar with me today." Normally you have to complete the full women's beginners course, or beginners course in general, the full 3 weeks before you can spar, right? That's how they used to do things. I said yes. And so suddenly I am fully outfitted with jacket and gear and knee pads, and everything is way too big. I'm a small person in physical form, not in emotional form, but I'm a small person. Extra small in general is my size, and there was nothing smaller than a medium men's jacket, which I was swimming in, and it was pushing up my helmet, so I couldn't look down, otherwise the helmet would just like come off the back, and like this chest protector thing. Like I have bruises from this week as well, just like armpit bruises of like every time I swing my sword, the chest protector, which is a large, there's nothing smaller than a large for the chest protectors in this place. I'm sure online I could find some. I will order gear at some point very soon. I'm all fitted out, and Megan and I just go at it, and all of my training goes out of the window. Like, I am blank-minded, and I do everything wrong, and I have the most amazing time. It was amazing. I want to hold swords for the rest of my life. I had not held swords. Now I can't imagine going a day without holding a sword. And I need to talk about it more. So the big turning point for me was that second class when I had the opportunity to spar. And so every Saturday since then I have been gearing up and I have been sparring. And I only last like maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the full gear outfit because I am a heat sensitive being and it is so hot. Like in Denver already it's like 90 degrees on Saturdays, and that plus all the jacket and stuff, like I'm just sweating through everything, and yeah, I'm doing my best. But I recognize now, like looking back, that I was very lucky to find Denver Historical Fencing Academy because like sparring can be a real, like local sparring can be a real hit or miss. Pretend that was real. It can be a real hit or miss activity because you have to line up what you want with what the other person you're sparring with wants. So you have to have like a common objective. It's like being on a trampoline. You're a child. You're on a trampoline with a bunch of other kids. Now, the older kids want to do backflips. That's all they want to do. They want like a clear trampoline. They want to do backflips. That's what they want to do. Some other kids want to just bounce as high as physically possible. That's it. Other kids, they're new to the trampoline and they don't want to be bounced at all. And they're going to be really upset with you if you bounce them too hard when they're not ready to be bounced that hard yet, right? And they're afraid of being bounced off the trampoline. Like that can be really scary. Like there are a lot of different children on this trampoline. And so you have to like have like scheduled time. Like, okay, this is the time when the older children can like go at each other with swords. We're out of the metaphor at this point. And this is the like, okay, now you're fencing against a beginner and you're not going to kick their ass as badly. Megan was very kind to me, and whenever I went after her leg, she would bop me in the head. It was great. I learned not to do that anymore. I still do that a little bit, but I'm getting better. So this group is really good about understanding your objective when you get onto that trampoline and saying, like, let's talk before we spar. What are you looking to work on? What do you want out of the spar? Is it just for fun? Do you want to do something silly? Like yesterday, I watched as one guy brought in like a practice bayonet, like rifle thing, and he went at another guy who had brought in like hatchets, and they fought hatchet versus bayonet. The first day I was there for sparring, they did there were like 3 guys with swords and shields, and then one guy with like a poleaxe who ran at them. And that's like a very specific thing that you would want to do, and like it's good that they were all on the same page to do that. It would be really upsetting to go to a local guild and be like, hey, I'm a beginner, like I would like to spar too, and then no one can spar you on the level or objective that you have for sparring because you can't keep up with anybody yet. So it was really, really nice. Everyone I've sparred so far has been really kind, has like given me advice, but not like well, you really should have done this, you're an idiot. Like, no, they're very kind. They're just like, okay, hey, did you see how I was going down like this? You caught it like that? Yeah, now you can spin around and like bop me in the head instead. And you're like, oh yeah, right. Also, stop being on your tippy toes. Like, yeah, fair. I should probably not be on my tippy toes when I fight with swords. I'm learning. Again, I'm a beginner. Oh yeah, and speaking of me being a beginner, since I'm posting a video like this video, and I think I will continue to post videos regarding swords, I'm a beginner. You should not be learning from me. Anything I say can be horribly wrong. Any opinion that comes out of my mouth is probably just some parroted opinion that I have like heard. So like I'm learning, I'm a beginner. Please don't take anything I say seriously. If you're looking for instructional YouTube channels for HEMA, those exist and you should go to those instead. There's also a Reddit, WMA, and they have a Discord as well. So if you need help, like actual help from experts and masters who have been doing this for many, many years, those are your places. However, if you would like the fun of following along as I get hopefully better at swords, then you're in the right place and we can be enthusiastic and excited about swords together, because I just need more people to talk about this with, because I've already exhausted all of my friends who are like, great, how much are those? Which is fair, they're all very expensive. Can we talk about that for a second? The gear is so expensive. So you're already asking someone like, hey, you should like join this activity, and there are a lot of reasons for somebody to get into HEMA. Fitness, also there's swords. That's at least 2 reasons to get into HEMA. But now you have, okay, you're paying for classes probably, or you have some sort of yearly membership fee or monthly membership fee to your local guild, which is great. Like, we need to support local guilds as much as humanly possible, because that's how this expands, right? And this is how we get new people into the hobby. Supporting a really good local guild means that the first impression that a beginner like me gets into this, I don't even know what to call it, martial arts, hobby, sport, is a positive one. You want that first impression to be something where they want to come back. They want to do more. But this gets a little difficult when, let's say that you have a guild that doesn't have a lot of loaner equipment. So there are only a few extra swords to go around, and now you're having a difficulty of, oh yeah, come and practice with us, but we don't really have a sword for you, and you can't fence without the mask, and we don't have any extras of that. Like, that's very difficult. Now you're asking somebody to shell out, what, $1,000 for like sword, mask, jacket, pants, knee pads, like, just, there's a lot. And like the gloves, number one, need to be made smaller. Someone please. There is another girl in our guild who, I'm sorry I keep saying guild, it's called Denver Historical Fencing Academy, not guild, but guild, I like the word guild, I'm going to continue to use it. So she has extra small SPES, S-P-E-S, heavies. They're still too large. I need something smaller. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too picky, but it just feels too loose. I don't want it to be that loose. I will get better with practice, and hopefully maybe I can mod them to be tighter on my hands. But anyway, the gloves are like $200. That's a lot of money. So now you're spending $1,000 to get into this hobby, and you're not even sure, like, I'm sure, but like a new person coming in could be like, I could stay, but I also like need to feed my cat and myself, so no swords for the moment, which sucks. You don't want to have the entry to your hobby be too high in a monetary way. It restricts membership, which is a bummer. And that's why I like Denver Historical Fencing Academy, DHFA, DHFA. I really like DHFA because they have a ton of extra swords. And so I was able to try like a dozen, I want to say at least a dozen different swords to figure out like, this one is a good height for me, and I like the balance on this one, and other technical things I have no business knowing as a beginner. And then they also had extra masks and extra gloves and extra everything, despite it being way too large, but I appreciate that at least the barrier to entry is much lower with a guild like that. So support your local guilds, and then they will be able to buy equipment to get more beginners and things into the sport, which means more practice partners for you, which is great, right? Important. Okay, so now I'm officially out of the beginner's curriculum, which was like a really good intro to it, though I wish the classes were longer. They were like 1 hour each, And I feel like 1.5 hours or even 2 hours might have been better. But if my one quibble about the class is like, it could have been longer, then it must have been a pretty good class, right? So I really enjoyed it. I can't speak for other guilds and other groups because, again, I am a beginner, which is great. Also, do you want to see my sword wall? Okay. Yeah, that's right. It's empty. What were you expecting? I'm a beginner. I don't have any swords. Since I have finished the beginners class, I have been taking notes on the things that I have been learning. Don't worry, I'm not going to like read from my notes. That would be a horrible video. But I did want to encourage other beginners to do this. So when you're first starting out, and like maybe get through a class or two to make sure that you're going to stick with it. But it's just like a musical instrument. If you take notes and you like take your practices more intentionally, you're going to get more out of it. And so I like have like a little page for each class or each sparring thing so that I can reflect on what I'm doing. That way, when I go back, I can better understand what I need to work on, and like have a better perception of how well the day went. So like it can be easy to be like, oh wow, everyone beat me, but actually like no, I learned all of these neat things and protected my head at least much better than I did the first sparring session, so that is good. So yeah, I just wanted to recommend if you are also a beginner, or even if you are an intermediate or even a master, taking notes on your own thing can be a great physical tool to reflect on each class as you're going through it. So highly recommend this. And this is like my only piece of equipment thus far. I've just put in a big order of gear from Purple Heart, and so hopefully that will be coming in. Who knows? I don't know, because I had to order like extra small, and that might take a while to be made and to get to me. But I will post here when it comes. So thank you for hanging out with me for like a big rambly video where I just wax poetic about how awesome swords are. We will continue where we left off maybe next week after I have gone through 3 more lessons. I have Monday, I have Thursday, and I have Saturday. And I'm going to be Actually, you know what? Can we talk about that? Okay, so people are too kind to me. I haven't gotten any bruises aside from my armpit bruises, which is due to gear. I was expecting this activity to be more dangerous than it is, and I'm sure at some point I will get a horrible bruise, and I will be happy to show it to you. But yeah, I have been very, very safe. My fingers and hands are totally okay. And the only thing that I have noticed over the past month is soreness in my entire body. Just all of it is sore right now. Even my neck is sore just from doing that. My shoulders are sore. My back is sore. My shoulder blades are sore. My this part is sore. My this part is sore. My hand muscles are sore. My finger muscles are sore. My thighs, my booty, my knee, not really my knees actually, I lied just then. My feet though, yeah, everything is sore, which is great because this means that this is an activity that is working out my whole body in addition to cardio. So perfect. Also, I might be going at it a little hard because I'm having classes and then also like practicing drill work on my like days off where I don't have swords, but I can't seem to go a day without touching a sword. Because yeah, wait, I lied to you. Look at my equipment. I borrowed this. They let me. I did not steal this. They let me borrow this from the armory, and it is a plastic longsword. Yeah, so I will go outside and my neighbors look at me funny, but they already looked at me funny, so this is not really different than normal. But it's been really great to have an actual practice sword at home to be able to like go over the various things, the various guards and cuts, and there's a helicopter move that I am getting very good at. Just you wait. At some point, me and you, person on the other side of this camera, perhaps you're a beginner like me, perhaps you're a master, but at some point, we're gonna be at the same tournament together, and I would love to spar with you. We'll have a great time. No like big expectations on that, but I'm probably still not going to be very good, but it will be fun nonetheless. So I look forward to doing that with you. Yeah, so I think that I've rambled for like a good length of time, and I have gotten rid of all of the things that I needed to speak about. Though I think that I will suddenly remember many more things that I needed to speak about in terms of swords because I am kept up awake at night thinking about swords and like specifically on Saturdays because we'll have like 3 hours of sparring and things. And like, again, I only lost like 5 to 10 minutes. But then I watch other people and then I can't sleep on Saturday nights. I just am thinking about the clashing of the swords and the feet and the wrists. And it's very annoying. So if you have any tips to sleep well after sword practice, please let me know because I think that I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. And yeah, I hope that you will join me along the way. We've already talked about I'm not teaching you, so please go look at actual channels before taking my advice on anything. I will endeavor to not ever give advice. And yeah, see you next week. Onwards and upwards, dear friends. I just now realized that you're supposed to tell people to like, comment, and subscribe. Do that. But really, please give me more sword puns. I need more of them for my collection. So if you have any of those, you can leave those in the comments and I would be very grateful. I will be using them in upcoming videos. Yeah, okay. Onwards and upwards. Bye.